Let me ask you something before we dive in. Are you ready to live your best life? No, I mean, really, are you ready to wake up every single morning with fire in your heart and conviction in your soul, ready to become the best version of yourself? Because if you are, then this is where it starts. Right here, right now. Today, I've got something for you. 9 powerful truths you need to remind yourself of every single day. 9 mindsets that will train your thoughts, feed your spirit, and strengthen your purpose. And I want you to listen carefully because these are not just words, they're tools that will keep you focused, grounded, and unstoppable. And before we go any further, I've left one important question for you in the comment section because your thoughts matter just as much as mine. I want to hear how you see your journey, how you apply these truths to your own life. Check it out, share your answer, and let's grow together. Number 1, I am the best. This isn't arrogance, this isn't ego, this is belief. Belief in yourself, belief that you were made for more, because you were. You were made for something bigger, something brighter, something that only you can bring into this world. Every morning you wake up, you've got to remind yourself, I am the best. Because if you don't believe it, how can anyone else? You see, the world will test you. It will try to convince you that you're not enough. It will compare you, criticize you, and challenge your confidence. But when you truly know who you are, when you understand the greatness that lives inside you, you stop letting outside voices define your worth. You stop seeking validation and you start walking with intention. Being the best doesn't mean you look down on others. It means you look within yourself and see potential where others see limits. It means you hold yourself to a higher standard because you know what you're capable of. You walk into every room with purpose, not pride. You face challenges with courage, not fear. And you move forward knowing you belong wherever your purpose takes you. The best isn't about competition. It's about transformation, becoming the best version of you. And when you carry that mindset, everything around you begins to shift. Opportunities recognize confidence. Success gravitates toward discipline, and peace, true peace, follows belief. So when you tell yourself, I am the best, don't just say it. Feel it, breathe it, live it. Let it guide your decisions, your habits, your relationships, because every time you say it, you're building a foundation of strength within your mind. That belief becomes armor against doubt, against fear, against the noise of the world. And once you master that mindset, nothing can shake you. Number 2, I can do anything. Too many people live their entire lives trapped by one simple phrase, I can't. They carry it like a chain, repeating it every time something feels uncomfortable. But let me tell you something, you can. You can do anything you set your mind to. The only limits that exist are the ones you allow to. You see, most people wait for the perfect time, the perfect chance, the perfect approval before they move. But greatness doesn't wait. It's built. It's created through consistent, intentional action and through showing up even when it's hard, even when you're afraid. Every successful person you've ever admired has felt fear. Every one of them has doubted themselves, but they didn't stop. They acted despite it. And that's what separates those who dream from those who do. When you wake up in the morning and say, I can do anything, you open the door to possibility. You give yourself permission to grow, to try, to fail, to rise. Because failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every setback teaches you something, and every lesson brings you closer to your purpose. So remove I can't from your vocabulary. Erase it completely. Replace it with I can, I will, I must. Because the moment you start speaking life into your goals, your mind begins to align with your words. And when your mind aligns with your actions, that's when transformation. You've got to move with conviction, not half-hearted belief, but full certainty that whatever you set your mind to, you can achieve. Maybe not overnight, maybe not easily, but inevitably. Inch by inch, step by step, every day you get closer. Consistency builds momentum, and momentum creates miracles. The key is to keep moving, even when no one believes in you, even when the road feels long, because one day you'll look back and realize that everything you told yourself, everything you spoke into existence became real. I can do anything. Say it again and again until your mind believes it, your actions prove it, and your life reflects it. Because you can, you just have to decide that you will. You know what's interesting? Most people wake up each day and see only the weight of their problems. They look around and find reasons to complain, reasons to doubt, reasons to stop believing. They focus so much on what went wrong that they forget the truth. their future is still shining. The problem is not that life is dark, it's that too many people keep staring at the clouds instead of the horizon. Your future is not defined by the mistakes you've made, by the failures you've experienced, or by the opinions of others. Your future is written by the choices you make right now, in this very moment. You might not see it yet, but every step you take, every small effort, every act of discipline is carving a path towards something extraordinary. You may feel stuck, but progress is not always loud. Sometimes it's silent. Sometimes it's just the simple decision not to give up. Tell yourself this: my future is bright, not because everything is easy, but because I choose to see beyond the struggle. Every setback I face is building strength. Every closed door is redirecting me towards something better. You are not meant to stay where you are. You are meant to evolve. The version of you that exists today is only the foundation of the person you are becoming. And yes, there will be days that test your patience, moments that make you question your purpose. But understand this: the universe doesn't delay, it prepares. What feels like waiting is often the season of growth you need before stepping into what's next. So instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" start asking, "What is this teaching me?" That simple shift turns pain into progress. The truth is, your story isn't finished. You're still writing it, and every chapter matters, even the ones filled with mistakes, confusion, or fear, because those are the chapters that teach you resilience. They're the proof that you can fall and rise again. They remind you that no storm lasts forever. Every storm runs out of rain, and when the clouds clear, the light that follows is even stronger. Your future depends on what you believe about yourself when no one is watching. If you choose hope over fear, growth over comfort, action over doubt, your life will begin to transform in ways you can't yet imagine. You have to hold the vision even when the path isn't clear. That's what faith really is, trusting in what you cannot yet see. So wake up each morning and remind yourself, my future is bright because I am building it one decision at a time. I refuse to be defined by my past. I refuse to let temporary pain make me forget permanent potential. My story isn't over, it's just getting started. Number 4, I am getting better each day. Progress doesn't always look like success. Sometimes it looks like trying again after a disappointment. Sometimes it looks like discipline without reward or patience without recognition. But progress is happening, whether you can see it or not. Every day that you choose to show up, you're growing. You may not wake up tomorrow and feel transformed, but growth is rarely visible from the inside. It's like watching the seasons change, slow, steady, natural. One day you'll look back and realize that what once seemed impossible is now your reality. You'll see that all those small steps, all those quiet efforts were preparing you for this moment. Say it with conviction: I am getting better each day, because it's true. Every mistake teaches you something new. Every challenge develops strength you didn't know you had. The only way to fail is to stop learning. The only way to stay the same is to stop moving. When you embrace progress as your purpose, you stop chasing perfection. You begin to understand that self-improvement isn't about becoming flawless. It's about becoming aware. Aware of what needs to change. Aware of what you can control. Aware that growth is a lifelong process, not a finish line. And once you realize that, you'll start to appreciate the journey more than the destination. You'll see beauty in the process, the late nights, the self-doubt, the persistence that no one else sees. Because all of it is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. You might not be where you want to be yet, but that doesn't mean you aren't moving in the right direction. Every effort counts. Every lesson matters. Every small win builds momentum. Growth is not about speed, it's about endurance. The willingness to keep going when others give up. So keep walking even when it's slow. Keep learning even when it's hard. Keep believing even when you can't see the results yet. Because one day you'll wake up and realize that the person you've become, confident, resilient, unbreakable, is proof that every single day was worth it. There's something sacred about effort, something deeply human about the grind, the quiet determination that no one else sees. The early mornings when the world is asleep and it's just you and your goals. The late nights when you're tired but still choose to keep going because you made a promise to yourself. Hard work is not punishment. It's proof that you believe in your own potential. We live in a world that loves shortcuts. Everyone wants the results, but few are willing to earn them. They want the reward without the process, the recognition without the discipline. But life doesn't work that way. Anything worth having will demand a part of you, your time, your focus, your persistence. The truth is, success doesn't just fall from the sky, it's built brick by brick through consistency and sacrifice. When you tell yourself, I will work hard, you're making a decision to become unstoppable. You're telling the universe, I am ready for the weight that comes with greatness. Because make no mistake, success has a cost, and that cost is effort. But the beauty is, once you start, that effort begins to change you. Every repetition, every late night study session, every rejection you overcome, it shapes you into someone who cannot be broken by failure. You'll have moments when you feel invisible, when you give everything and see no results, when people doubt you, forget you, underestimate you. That's when hard work matters the most. That's when your discipline becomes your weapon, because discipline doesn't need applause. It thrives in silence. It builds in the shadows so that when your moment arrives, you are ready. Working hard isn't about doing more than everyone else. It's about giving more of yourself, your attention, your focus, your energy to what truly matters. It's about being relentless in your pursuit of growth, refusing to settle for average when excellence is within reach. The effort you put in today is not wasted, even if no one notices. The universe keeps score in silence. And remember this, talent might open the first door, but it's hard work that keeps it open. Natural ability fades without discipline. Passion burns out without structure. But effort endures. Because effort doesn't depend on how you feel, it depends on what you've decided. So when the alarm goes off and you don't feel like moving, remember why you started. When everything feels heavy, remember who you're doing it for. You're not working just for success. You're working for transformation. You're proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Working hard is not about chasing perfection. It's about honoring your potential. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when no one is watching, even when no one thanks you, even when you have every reason to quit. Because that's when growth happens, in the moments when it's hardest to keep going. Every great story, every success, every dream fulfilled has one thing in common. Someone refused to give up. Someone chose consistency over comfort, effort over excuses, purpose over pleasure. That's how greatness is born. Through repetition, through persistence, through sweat. The truth is, hard work is freedom. It gives you control over your destiny. It separates those who wish from those who will. It builds the kind of character that no one can take away from you. So stop waiting for luck to find you. Build your own fortune with your effort. Tell yourself every morning, I will work hard, not just today, but every day. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Because one day, when you look back, you'll realize that every ounce of effort, every moment of discipline, every sacrifice led you exactly where you were meant to be. Number 6, no excuses. Excuses are comforting lies we tell ourselves when things get difficult. They disguise fear as logic. They turn potential into regret. We say we don't have time, but we do. We say we're not ready, but we are. We say it's too late, but it isn't. Excuses give us permission to stay small, and that's exactly why they're dangerous. If you want to grow, you have to destroy the habit of making excuses. You have to stop waiting for perfect conditions. Life will never hand you the perfect moment. It hands you opportunities disguised as challenges, and the people who rise are the ones who act, even when it's uncomfortable. You're not too tired, you're not too old, you're not too young, you're not too late, you're just scared. And that's okay. Courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means you move forward despite it. Every time you choose action over excuses, you build power. You train your mind to overcome resistance. Successful people don't waste time blaming circumstances. They adapt. They take responsibility. They understand that ownership is freedom. Because the moment you stop blaming, you start creating. Excuses are a cage. Accountability is the key. So the next time your mind says, I can't, respond with, then I'll find a way. Every obstacle you face can be conquered, but only if you stop explaining why it can't be done. You owe it to yourself to stop standing in your own way, because the truth is simple. Life won't slow down to match your hesitation. It keeps moving, and if you keep making excuses, it'll leave you behind. But if you take control, if you show up with consistency and courage, everything changes. No more waiting for the right time, no more blaming, no more excuses. You have everything you need right now within you. There's a moment in everyone's life when they feel it, that quiet pull inside, the whisper that says there's more. Maybe it happens when you're alone, maybe when life breaks you open, or maybe in a simple, ordinary moment when something deep inside reminds you that you are not here by accident. That whisper is purpose, and it never leaves you, no matter how far you drift from it. You were not created just to survive. You weren't put here simply to wake up, work, and repeat. You were designed to create, to lead, to leave something behind that lasts longer than your name. Somewhere deep within you is a gift, something no one else on this planet has. And that's not poetic exaggeration, that's truth. Your thoughts, your experiences, your scars, your dreams, no one has lived them the way you have. That uniqueness is not random. It's the raw material of greatness. And the problem is, most people bury that calling under fear and routine. They convince themselves they're ordinary, that greatness belongs to others, the famous, the wealthy, the chosen. But here's the truth. You are chosen. You were born for greatness, not because the world said so, but because creation itself doesn't make mistakes. Look around you. Nothing in nature exists without purpose. Trees grow to give life. Rivers flow to sustain it. Even the smallest seed knows exactly what it's meant to become. And so do you. You've just forgotten how to listen. You don't need to be loud to be great. You don't need fame, applause, or validation. Greatness is built in silence, in the daily acts of courage, in the discipline to keep going when no one is watching. It's born in the quiet decisions to be better, to rise again, to give more. That's where legends are made. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows of persistence. Every challenge you faced, every pain you've endured, every setback that made you question your worth, all of it was shaping you. The moments that broke you weren't meant to end you. They were meant to forge you, to prepare you for what's coming. Because before greatness, there's always struggle. Before triumph, there's always testing. You were born to do great things, but greatness demands something in return. It asks for courage. It asks for patience. It asks that you believe in your path even when no one else does. You have to be willing to take the long road, the one without shortcuts, without guarantee, and walk it with faith. Because what's waiting at the end is something far greater than comfort. It's fulfillment. And let me be clear, greatness doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean fame or wealth. It means living fully aligned with what you were made to do. It means using your gifts, no matter how small they seem, to make a difference in someone's world, even if that world is just your own. When you walk in purpose, everything changes. The noise fades. The opinions lose their power. You stop chasing approval and start chasing impact. Because when you live from your calling, you don't need to be understood. You just need to be real. There will be times when you question yourself, when fear tells you to stop, when doubt whispers that you're not enough. But remember this, you weren't chosen because it would be easy. You were chosen because you're strong enough to carry it. Every setback, every rejection, every hard lesson is not a sign that you failed. It's proof that you're on the path of growth. The greatest people you've ever heard of weren't fearless. They simply refused to let fear dictate their destiny. They took the risk. They tried again. They trusted that the fire inside them meant something. And that's what you must do too. So tell yourself and mean it, I was born to do great things. Not someday, not after I have more time, more money, or more certainty. Now, today. Because the only thing separating you from your greatness is the decision to embrace it. You are not here by accident. You are here because the world needs something only you can give. Don't hide it. Don't water it down. Don't wait for permission. The time will never feel perfect. You just have to start. Walk with purpose, move with faith, speak with conviction, because your life, your one precious, unrepeatable life, is the canvas. And what you do with it is your masterpiece. There comes a moment in life when you have to stop looking around and start looking within. Because if you keep measuring your worth through the eyes of others, you'll always be chasing shadows. The truth is, no matter who you are or what you do, people will talk. They'll criticize, they'll doubt, they'll misunderstand. And that's okay. It's not your job to convince them. Your job is to stay true to who you are. The world is full of noise, opinions, judgments, expectations. Everyone has something to say about how you should live, what you should do, who you should be. But here's the thing. Their voice only has power if you hand it to them. The moment you stop giving weight to other people's opinions, you begin to live in freedom. You begin to breathe differently, walk differently, think differently. You stop performing for approval and start creating from authenticity. Most people project their insecurities onto others. When they say you can't, what they really mean is they couldn't. When they tell you your dream is unrealistic, it's because they gave up on theirs. And if you're not careful, their limitations will become your beliefs. That's why protecting your mind is so important, because your reality will always be shaped by the thoughts you allow in. If you constantly seek validation, you'll build a fragile identity, one that crumbles every time someone disapproves. But when you learn to validate yourself, to anchor your worth internally, no amount of criticism can shake you. You'll realize that peace doesn't come from being liked, but from being aligned with your truth, your purpose, your values. You can't control what people think of you. You can't control their words, their gossip, or their judgment, but you can control what you absorb. You can choose silence over reaction. You can choose progress over pettiness. Because at the end of the day, no one else walks in your shoes, no one else carries your burdens, and no one else lives with your consequences. So why give them control over your direction? Think about it. You could be the kindest, most genuine, most hardworking person in the world, and someone will still find a reason to dislike you. Not because of you, but because of what they see in their reflection when they look your way. Your light reminds some people of the darkness they've settled for. Your ambition makes others confront their own complacency, but you weren't put here to dim your light for someone else's comfort. The opinions of others are not facts. They are perspectives filtered through personal fears, experiences, and beliefs. What matters is what you know about yourself, what you're building, what you're fighting for, what you stand for. That's your truth, and no one can take that from you unless you let them. When you stop needing to be understood, you become unstoppable, because you'll realize that validation is temporary, but purpose is permanent. People will always have something to say, and tomorrow they'll move on to something else. But you'll still be here, working, growing, becoming. Their opinions fade, your vision endures. So keep your focus forward. Let the noise fade into the background. You don't have to fight every criticism, you just have to outlast it. Time has a way of silencing doubt. Results have a way of proving people wrong without you saying a word. Let your work be your voice, your consistency be your argument, and your peace be your victory. There's a quiet kind of power that comes from knowing who you are. Not who they say you are, but who you know yourself to be. That's confidence in its purest form, the kind that doesn't need to shout, the kind that doesn't need validation, the kind that simply walks away from noise because it knows the truth doesn't need defending. And here's the truth. People will come and go. Their opinions will change with time. But you remain. The only voice that matters is the one inside your own head. Feed it with courage, not doubt. With faith, not fear. With conviction, not comparison. Because when that inner voice is strong, the outside noise becomes irrelevant. You owe it to yourself to protect your peace, to guard your energy like it's gold, to choose self-respect over popularity. Because at the end of the day, it's not their approval that you'll live with. It's your reflection. Look in the mirror and remind yourself, I am not defined by opinions. I am defined by my actions, my purpose, and my integrity. What others think of me is not my responsibility. What I think of myself, that's where my power lives. So move forward without apology. Let them talk, let them doubt, let them misunderstand. That's their story, not yours. Your story is still being written, and it's too important to be shaped by anyone else's pen. There's a moment, usually unexpected, when life reminds you of its fragility. It can happen in silence, in loss, in the middle of an ordinary day that suddenly shifts your perspective. And in that moment, you realize this right here is all we really have. Not the plans, not the expectations, not the endless chase for more. Just this breath, just this moment. Life is not a rehearsal, it's the real thing. Every sunrise, every conversation, every quiet second when nothing seems to happen, that's your story unfolding. And yet most of us move through it half awake, worrying about what's next, regretting what's behind. We treat time as if it were infinite, as if there will always be another chance, another tomorrow. But the truth is, nothing is promised. Every heartbeat is a privilege. Every day you wake up is an opportunity that millions no longer have. So live with presence. Truly be where you are. When you eat, taste your food. When you listen, really hear. When you love, give completely. Because these small moments, the ones you think are insignificant, are the ones that define the quality of your life. Happiness isn't hidden in some distant future. It's built right here in the way you choose to experience today. We've been taught that success means movement, constant progress, constant growth, constant noise. But sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stop, to breathe, to notice, to remember that you don't have to be racing all the time to be living fully. Rest is not laziness. It's respect for your body, for your mind, for your spirit. Because if you move too fast, you'll miss the beauty that's already around you. Think about the people you love. When was the last time you told them what they truly mean to you? When was the last time you looked at them and realized that one day they'll be a memory? Just like everyone else, we lose too soon. We postpone affection, assuming there will always be more time. But time is quiet. It slips through our fingers when we're not paying attention. Life is not measured in years, but in meaning. It's not about how long you live. It's about how deeply you feel, how much you give, how bravely you grow. Some people live 80 years without ever living. Others live one extraordinary decade and leave a mark that never fades. The difference is awareness. The difference is gratitude. So be grateful, not in a cliche way, but in a conscious. Be grateful for the laughter that surprises you, for the mornings that greet you, for the failures that teach you. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it gives it purpose. It reminds you that even in hardship, there is still light. Even in loss, there is love. Stop wasting your energy on things that drain you. The arguments that don't matter, the comparisons that make you small, the people who steal your peace, they are not worth the limited time you have. Protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. What you give your attention to becomes your life. Every day is a blank page. You can fill it with bitterness, or you can fill it with courage. You can choose to dwell on what you lack, or you can choose to build something beautiful with what you have. The choice is always yours. And when things go wrong, because they will, remember, even the hardest seasons have an expiration date. No storm lasts forever. No night is endless. The sun always returns, even after the darkest sky. And when it does, you'll realize that the pain you survived was shaping you for the peace you're meant to live. So take a moment right now and breathe. Feel your heart beating. That's proof you still have time, proof that you still have purpose. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start living. The perfect moment is this one, right here. Life is precious. Treat it like it's the only treasure you own. Speak kindly, move boldly, forgive easily, laugh often, work hard for what matters, but never forget why it matters. Because in the end, the only thing that truly remains is how deeply you lived and how fiercely you loved. When your time comes, and it will, let there be no doubt that you used it well, that you showed up fully, that you didn't just exist, but lived. This is your reminder. Life is not forever, but it is enough. So make it count.